Hi, I'm Bharti, and I'm originally from India, Mumbai, born, brought up there, lived there for the first half of my life, where I studied from Mumbai University. And immediately after completing my graduation, I had two options which were given by my mother. The first option was to get married, and the second option was to get married. So I went against that and I went to the corporate world where I started my career with ICICI Prudential. At that time, ICICI Prudential was a small company which was just starting up in India and was competing with likes of LIC. So it was a total different atmosphere where you had young professionals who were coming together, struggling, fixing wires, setting up the whole processes to start off this whole era of private life insurance companies. So I had the privilege of working with ICICI Prudential for 5 years. And in that 5 years, I worked in three aspects. So one was setting up the entire customer support team. Then I moved into digital marketing or direct marketing, where I set up, lead generation. That time it was very different. We didn't have, ways to target customers through Facebook. So we had to send direct mailers and envelopes to people. So I did that. And then I moved in, I had an option to move to Rajasthan and head the operations in Rajasthan. So I went there, and 2 years of my life I spent there, where I set up the whole branch operations for insurance. While I was setting up these branch operations, I did have my first child. And like a lot of mothers, I decided to take a break and spend time with my kid. At that time, there were a lot of people who went and told me that don't take this break. You are, on your way up. You're working with a startup, which has now become giant back in India. So why would you want to take a break? Just continue working, hire a maid, and your child will be well taken care of. But I think that was a personal decision of my husband and myself that, I think once we have a baby, let's just make sure we give the best to the child. So I took this break, and at the same point of time, my husband got an opportunity to move to Brazil. So imagine a girl who's born, brought up in Bombay, gets this opportunity to go to the other side of the world. And I had any which ways taken a break to be a mom. So I packed up my kid, who was less than 1 year old, and we moved to Brazil. Little did I know that people in Brazil didn't speak English. So imagine being in a foreign country where you want to talk because you love to talk, but you can't talk because people can't understand you. So I took this as an opportunity where I started, just speaking to random people on the road, and trying to strike a conversation with my broken Portuguese, and took this as an opportunity to learn the language. Because at no given point of time, I could actually even buy basics like milk or water, because everything was in Portuguese. So it was beautiful years wherein, learned quite a lot, learned and adapted a different culture altogether, had my second child. And while, all this was happening, I ended up getting an opportunity to work in a school which taught English to kids and adults. And at that point of time, it was great because the same school my child went to study, and at the same time, I could also, get some kind of a professional life. So I took up this opportunity, and, it's just that one door led to another. I ended up meeting up very bright people who were working for very big companies in Brazil, who, used to tell me their challenges in terms of what they face when they have to coordinate with people outside Brazil. And I took that as an opportunity wherein I started my own business of trading. So I started importing and exporting stuff from Brazil, wherein countries like Brazil and China was where I used to import things from. And from Brazil, I started exporting things out to US. It was a great way because I started earning money. It was like the biggest achievement for me after being a mom, because you're just a graduate, you're from a middle-class family back in Bombay, and now suddenly you're an entrepreneur and the business is doing well, right? So it was, I think, a very high time in my life, and things were going well. My family was doing great. And after doing all of that, there was a time where my husband came to me and said, do you remember that I always wanted to do my second MBA? And I looked at him and I said, yes, you did mention that to me. And he's like, okay, so I got through MIT. And at that point of time, I really didn't know what to do. I was very happy for him, but at the same time, I was very disappointed because, once you become an entrepreneur, it's a different high in life. You don't want to let go of it, whatever said and done, right? It's like your baby, your third baby. After a lot of discussion, as a family, and a personal incident which happened in Brazil, we decided to move on. So I sold off my business in Brazil, and we all moved, packed our bags, and followed my husband. So he was a student. I was a student's wife. I had 2 kids. So we were basically an unemployed family on a sabbatical in the US. So again, I was an unemployed mom. I had a lot of time on my hand while the kids went to school. So, there were times that I used to just go ahead and attend the class. And I took up a lot of these short-term courses, and took this opportunity to learn. Post US, we did get an opportunity to move back to Asia, and we were very excited because, after living for more than 10 years away from Asia and away from family while parents were getting old, we just plunged, and it's been a great 5 years in Singapore, where I have only worked with startups. I have worked for startups which have moved from a typical brick and mortar system to a digital part. So I worked with companies like Sephora, which was moving out of buying makeup from a store to buying makeup online. Then I had an opportunity to working for a company called Rotimatic, where the idea was that the Indian woman spends so much time making fresh rotis for their loved ones, and you don't need to do that. You can actually feed them good food just by pressing a small button. So I had an opportunity to work with them, and then I ended up working with Digital Telco, which was again changing the way telcos work. So I worked with them, and recently I have started working with this company called Coda Payments, which basically empowers a lot of e-commerce companies to pass their digital payments. So it's been a great journey, I would say, professionally and personally, where I've learned quite a lot. I have revamped or reinvented myself quite a lot and learned, different languages and made a lot of friends. So it's been a great journey altogether. So I would say in my current organization, we are a digital payment wallet, right? So it didn't impact 2020 didn't impact us a lot. It actually helped us boost our business. It helped us create more revenues, and we, grew to more markets. I specialize in customer support or customer experience, as you call it, and we have total digital customer support. So it didn't really make a big impact in terms of, did we stop operations? No, we didn't. We were still available, right? Did we increase our operations to take care of the demand? Yes, we did. What came out as a big knowledge to everybody was that digital customer support is the way forward. You would love to have that omnipresence. You would love to have that shop or that office in a mall or in a fancy lane, which has your brand name written. But at the end of the day, you need to have a digital way of supporting your customers, right from buying, selling, to supporting him towards the end, right? Because we all are so busy today, not just because of COVID, but we're all very busy with our life, right? So just doing a small thing in terms of, say, buying a table or a chair or a lamp should be easy and convenient. And that's exactly what came out as an outcome of COVID 2020 for all of us in general. Because if you're not present digitally, I don't think you will be able to survive in today's world. Yes. I used to having short conversations, simple conversations, no emails, no big lines. So I guess the customer wants a digital customer support, and brands or companies which can provide that will only grow, right? Because at the end of the day, voice of the customer is what makes or breaks a brand. So if we can provide that, it will definitely be a win-win. If we can't, then it will not. People in the industry are talking about customer satisfaction. Earlier, it was not that. So now people are asking, okay, if you're doing customer support, how happy are your customers? What's your eNPS or what's your NPS like? So a lot has changed and it is there to remain. It's not going to go back. So definitely it's not going to move back. If you're used to online shopping today, we are just going to get more sucked up into. I would say that, I have been lucky enough to have great mentors. I've ended up working with great people who have been able to guide me in terms of what's right or wrong. But what really has also made a difference is how well is your better half or your spouse supported you in this journey, because it's not easy, right? One thing which has really helped me is that I have been very open to change and been very flexible in terms of trying new things. For me, it was always, it's not the end of the road, and let's try to see how we can learn and explore things to make things better. So I guess one of the things I would like to tell everybody is that keep on trying, to excel or to succeed. And even if you fail, don't give up. I know we've heard that a lot, we've read that a lot in books, and it's not, it's not that every time you try, you succeed. But if you give up, then you will never be able to know what's next. And as they always say, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I would say go forward and find out that light, because if not, something positive, it would be something as a learning that you will learn, and you can take this as an opportunity to explore something else. So yeah, keep on learning, keep on inventing, keep on exploring ways to make things better for you.
Thank you. That's really amazing. So, okay. Also, can you throw some light around the change in types of work culture that you would have seen coming from India and then working in international countries? Uh,
Sure.
I don't know whether it's ethically correct to kind of compare, but just upar say.
Yeah, sure. So I guess, one of the reasons for me even to quit my career in the beginning, right, after like 5 years of working in a great company, was that because of the commute time being very long, even after you work, say, from 10 to 6 or from 9 to 6, that one thought is always in your mind back in India is that if you leave the office early, you're not working, right? So if you are somebody who works from 10 to 6, you are rated or graded as a person who is not going to grow, and or you're not focused and you're not going to go up that ladder, which is very incorrect, right? Because if the person has it in him or her, he or she can actually just work and complete everything in 2 hours. Or a person can stay in front of a coffee machine, faffing away, and be there for 10 hours. So I think that mindset has to change, especially for women, especially for mothers, right? Women and mothers specifically are known to be multitaskers, right? We are just born like this. We are blessed like this. So we know how to manage kids, we know how to manage relations, we also know how to manage our work. So I guess one thing I would really like people to change is that don't look at the clock that the employees are putting in, or the hours that the employees are putting in. Look at the output of it, right? All the other things doesn't really matter, because I personally, when I was growing up and back in school, my brother used to study for his exams from morning 8 to evening 8. I was different. I used to love studying in the night. But clearly, it was very obvious to my mother that he was the one who was studying and I was the one who was just sleeping throughout the day. So I would just say, don't look at the hours and look at the time or the output which is coming out of it. And yes, please, for all the women, all the girls, all the mothers, you all are champions. You all know how to multitask. Just take that as a pride and just keep on working is what I would say.